If you are here, you might be a young professional looking to make that move to Chicago or, of course, the Chicagoland area. And today I'm going to break down 5 suburbs that I think are going to be some of the most popular among young professionals in 2025. Super quick before we jump into it, my name is Jimmy Zitnik and I help young professionals make informed decisions when it comes to buying or selling real estate here in the Chicagoland area. So if you're looking for someone that can be your boots on the ground or sort of a guide through your process or through your home buying journey, please feel free to reach out. I'm going to throw my contact information up here. It'll also be in the description. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So you might be wondering what makes a suburb suitable or ideal for young professionals. Now, of course, this is all a matter of my opinion, but through my experience working in real estate, there are 5 things that I've kind of gathered that people are looking for, young professionals specifically, when they're choosing their suburb. Number 1 is going to be your proximity to Chicago or other major employers here in the Chicagoland area. Number 2 is going to be public transit options. Number 3, and this is a super commonly requested one, young professionals want a walkable downtown area in their suburb with restaurants, bars, and shops. Number 4 is going to be housing affordability. And number 5, if I had to group it into a phrase, would be community amenities. Young professionals want things like gyms, co-working spaces, things to do outdoors, nice shops, things of that nature. Now, super quick, before I jump into the 5 suburbs, I do not want this video to be a super in-depth breakdown of each of them because this video is going to get way too long. That's something I could do in the future. However, what I wanted to note about all 5 of these suburbs is that 1, they all have really great, lively downtown areas. You're gonna have bars, restaurants, shopping, things to do. There's never gonna be boredom in any of these downtown areas. Number 2, they all are going to have a metro station in that specific city or zip code. You're not gonna need to travel to another town to hop on the train and head to Chicago. Number 3, they all have really great what I'm calling community amenities, whether that's things to do outdoors, co-working spaces, grocery stores. There's always going to be something. If you need it, these suburbs are going to have it. And 4th, as a bonus, I wanted to include 5 suburbs that, and not that every young professional is currently looking at schools or great school systems here in the Chicagoland area, but all 5 of these suburbs do feed into really quality school districts. So let's jump right into it. Now, to avoid getting too in-depth about these suburbs, you're gonna get 4 things about each of them, and we're gonna move on to the next. 1 is going to be the name of the suburb. 2 is going to be the population of the suburb. Number 3 is going to be the distance from that town into the city of Chicago. In the event you're somebody that needs to commute pretty often, you'll have a good idea of how long that travel time is going to be. And 4th, and probably the most important thing for most people, is what can you expect to spend buying a townhouse or a home in that suburb? Suburb number 1 is going to be Arlington Heights. Now, Arlington Heights is sitting about 27 miles northwest of Chicago, and it has a population of 75,000 people. At the time of filming this, the average price for a single family home that is a standalone home, the average price is $529,000, whereas if you look at the condo or the townhome market in Arlington Heights, the average price today is $243,000. Now, suburb number 2, and this is arguably the most famous suburb in Chicago. Everybody from there loves to talk about it. If you're not from here, you've probably heard of it, especially doing your research. But number 2 is going to be Naperville. Now, Naperville is about 33 miles west of the city of Chicago, and it is our most populous of the 5, comes in with a population of 150,000 people. And as far as pricing goes, at the time of filming this, the average price for a single family home in Naperville is going to be $690,000, whereas again, if we look at the townhome or the condo route, you can expect to spend around $325,000. Now, suburb number 3, this suburb is actually the closest to Chicago on the list. Suburb number 3 is Evanston. We head north from Chicago to get there. You travel about 20 miles and you find yourself in Evanston. At the time of filming this, the population in Evanston is 75,000 people, and in terms of affordability, Evanston is not cheap. The average price for a home, a standalone home today, is $722,000, whereas a townhome or a condo is sitting at an average price of $310,000. The 4th suburb on my list is Lombard. Now, Lombard is on my radar to be probably one of the most popular suburbs among young professionals and first-time buyers alike in 2025. Because it's kind of the best of all worlds that we've been talking about. It's 21 miles west of Chicago, so it's really not too far. population of only 43,000. So Lombard isn't this giant established, congested, if you will, suburb. It's still on the up and ups. And of course, with that, when we're talking about pricing, you're gonna get a little bit more bang for your buck in Lombard. A single family home right now in Lombard is selling on an average at $383,000, and the townhomes right now in Lombard are selling for about $265,000. Now, the fifth and final suburb on my list for today is going to be Barrington. It's actually where I'm filming this video. My office is in Barrington, but nonetheless, Barrington is the furthest suburb from the city, and it's also the smallest in terms of population. Barrington is sitting about 38 miles northwest of the city of Chicago, and it has a population of 10,000 people. Now, the reason for such a low population is, of course, there are pockets in Barrington. There's Barrington, South Barrington, Barrington Hills, Lake Barrington. There's a lot of villages within Barrington. However, Barrington is also known for very large estates, properties with acreage, so there are people here, they're just a little bit more spread out. There's not as many subdivisions as you might see in a Naperville or a Lombard or Arlington Heights, any of the suburbs we just mentioned. A little bit more private, a little bit more secluded. However, to be fully transparent, that does come with a price tag. Similar to Evanston, Barrington is one of our pricier suburbs. And right now, a single family standalone home is selling on average for $629,000 in Barrington. And a townhome or a condo, if you wanted to go that route, is sitting at an average of $248,000. So you can find a little bit more affordability if you go that townhome or condo route. But of course, if you want that house, standalone, backyard, things of that nature, then you're going to be spending a little bit more in a suburb like Barrington or Evanston. So there you have it. Those are 5 of my favorite suburbs for young professionals heading into 2025. They all have, again, really great downtown areas. You can get to the city super easily. There's things going on. You're not going to be stranded in the middle of nowhere. And there are a lot of other young professionals living in some of these towns that you have the ability to network with and socialize with. Now, of course, they're all fitting that mold, but they're also all very different. And that's why I picked them. I didn't want to just pick 5 suburbs that are all pretty much the same town with a different title. So there are going to be questions I'm sure that you have. I didn't jump super in depth with any of these because that would have been probably about a 45-minute video. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to, and everybody's situation is different. I'd love to get to know about your situation and play matchmaker, if you will. If I know a little bit more about what you've got going on, what your goals are, and that lifestyle you're looking to live, I might be able to point you to, hey, you know what? I think this would be a really great fit. So if that sounds like you, please feel free to reach out. Again, I'm going to put my contact information there. It'll also be in the description. Thank you for coming and enjoy the rest of your day.